Hello children, how are you? I think you're all fine. This is Mercy from Bharathidasanar Metric Higher Secondary School. I am very glad to see you all through this video session. Today we are going to see a subject is computer science. In this 6th standard, part 2, the unit is programming language. Already we discussed part 1 in our previous session. So today we are going to discuss about part 2. In this, first, we are going to see assembly level language. So, in a previous part, we are discussing about machine level language. Up to machine level language, we are discussed. Now, we are going to discuss about assembly level language. So, what is assembly level language? A computer can understand only binary coding, that is zeros and ones. So, it's very difficult to find out the programmings. So, if you are writing one full page of zeros and ones means we cannot able to find what kind of program that is. So, we have to know the clear knowledge of hardware. For that only we are going to assembly level languages. So, what is assembly level language? How we can use? In assembly level languages we are using opcode. What is opcode? It's an operational code. For example, you are going to give some program to computer means that instructions are like opcodes. So, these are all the example of opcodes. One is a MOU, move, add, sub and LD. So, what is mean by move? We are moving number from one place to another place. Add means addition, sub means subtractions. Then, assembly level language converted into machine level language. So, if we are giving instructions, that is opcode means that opcode is converted into machine level language because computer can understand only machine level languages. So, that conversion is done by softwares. So, this is what the example program of assembly level language. It's a high level programming, then it's a low level, that is a assembly level language programming, then it's a execution of machine coding. You can see that machine coding is full of zeros and ones. So, assembly level programming is load R1 comma B and R2 H, multiply R1 R2 and divide R1 to return. So, what is that? Load R1 comma B, that is B, it's a value stored in a space of R1. Next, H, height, it's stored in a place of R2. Then R1 and R2 we have to multiply and we have to divide R1 value by 2. What is that? It's a area of triangle. So, area of triangle program is, the formula is half B H. So, B for breadth and H for height, half BH. This is the formula for area of triangle. It was executed in a previous slide program. Next, we are moving to high level language. What is high level language? Codes written in English and mathematical symbols. So, we are using English words and mathematical symbols to write the high level languages program. It requires language processor or translator. Yes, so high level languages used English letters or numbers. The computer cannot understand English letters or numbers. So, for that we need one processor or translator. So, if we are using high level language for writing the program means that is called source code. So, what is the features of high level language? Not required hardware languages. So, it's easy to read and easy to understand because no requirement of hardware languages. So, easy to learn and write. Next, we are moving compiler. So, what is compiler? Already we discussed high level languages need one translator or processor. So, translator is classified into two types. One is compiler, another one is a interpreter. Translator is classified into two types. One is compiler, another one is an interpreter. So what is compiler? If you are using high level languages to write a program and execution, that execution process is known as compiler. So if you want to run the program, you have to compile the program. First you have to check it, all the instructions are correct or some other error will occur. So this is what a compiler. So what is the use of compiler means? If you are using C, C++, Java programming means you are going to run the program, you have to compile the program. So what is compiling? It compiles full program. So top to bottom it read the program and it will find out the error. If the error is occur means it will give a instruct to how to rectify the error. You have to rectify it and you have to compile and you have to execute the program. That is called compiler. So what is interpreter? So interpreter is completely different from compiler. How? The compiler fully read the program and it will execute, but the interpreter read one by one lines. First it will read the first line and it will execute it, and then it will read the second line and it will execute it. So it will read first and second line, one by one read and one by one execute it. That is called interpreter. So what is the difference between compiler and interpreter? A compiler read the full program and execute it. The interpreter read one by one line and execute it. This is what the difference between compiler and interpreter. These are all the classification of translators. Next we are moving the triangle of programming languages. So in the base you can see the hardware. So already we know hardware system. So in the near hardware we are using machine language. Now we are going to see a language triangle. In the triangle the base is hardware. The hardware near we are using machine level languages, because a machine level language is completely depending on hardware only. So next, away from the hardware we are using assembly level languages, because assembly level language is fully depends on the opcode system. That opcode is translated into machine level language using some other software. Next we can see the high level language, that is C, C++, Pascal, like that. So first we are seeing high level language that is converted into opcode, then opcode is converted into machine level language, and the machine level language is converted. Machine level languages completely depend on the hardware. So output is produced using the hardware system. So this is what a triangle of programming language. So today we start our discussion in this interpreter and low level languages. We already discussed low level languages in machine level language. Then today we are discussed assembly level languages and high level languages. So in that high level language we start discussion processor, that is a compiler and interpreter. Using high level language how we are going to write the program. This is what today we discussed. So that's all about our second unit in programming languages. So I'm just going to summarize all the points what we discussed in our part 1 and part 2. So first we start our discussion program. So what is program? Programming and programmer language. Next we discussed about classification of programming. So the programming languages is classified into two types, high level language and low level language. Again the low level languages is classified into two types, that is a machine level and assembly level. Machine level language, a computer can understand only zeros and ones. So it's very difficult. For that we are moving assembly level language. Assembly level language is fully depends on the opcode. So it is very easy to understand. Then we are going to high level language. So high level language is completely different from the machine level language. So we don't want to know about hardware system. We just know the languages and we just learn and write the program using the languages. So we want to compile the program and we have to interpret the program. So what is compiler? It read the full program and it will execute it. What is interpreter? It read the first line and execute it, and second line execute it. Next we see the triangle of the programming languages: hardware, machine level language, assembly level language and high level languages. This is what the triangle of programming languages. Thank you for all your listening, children. In this below description, we are going to attach our study material and self-assessment. Kindly go through it and study well. Thank you.